The first Emma Larson episode of the entire series. Emma Larson, prepare to be judged. Hey, what's up, guys? This is John.
Hey, and this is Snakeskin here at TheUndercoverBrony.com at YouTube.com/ The Undercover Brony. We got a season 1 episode to talk about today, as you can see by our lower thirds. But first, I need to pose the question: did anybody else see that season 7 mid-season trailer?
Actually, I didn't. I'll have to check that out after this.
Well, nothing too noteworthy. Although I haven't kept up with the comics since like the second month they came out, but apparently there's some characters in there that are actually from the comics that they show during the teaser. There's like one of them or something.
Really? There's a comic character?
Yeah, which, I mean, I don't have an issue with if they start migrating comic characters over, some of them. It's if they start implementing the lore, that's when I'm kind of like,
It's going to be a little weird simply for the fact that the comics are considered non-canon. So, I mean, if they bring it into canon, that's okay, but they need to be very careful about it.
I feel like if they didn't do that thing where they had Twilight's mom being the one that wrote the Daring Do books, I really feel like the comics could have been considered canon. And there's some other things too. But yeah, I just thought I'd bring that up and, start with something topical. So, Swarm of the Century. This is Pinky's first starring role in Friendship is Magic. And, yeah.
It's pretty lackluster. Sorry to say.
It's,
or it was a thing. Let's just put it at that.
There's a thing that goes around this fandom. And you've heard us bring it up once in a while, pretty much since we started these reviews. And John brings it up a little more than me when it comes to Equestria Girls characterizations. But season 1 in some ways gets talked about a little more than other seasons, in the sense of, whenever a character feels kind of off or maybe flat compared to how they've been in recent, well, I'd say episodes, but let's be honest, years, the comparison gets thrown up. Man, this feels like season 1 XXX or whatever. And this episode, to me, feels like it's one of the best examples of man, this feels just like season 1 XXX, because it has a lot of the good and some of the type of season 1 writing. And I was asking John about this. I swear the eyes used to be bigger because I got TV tropes loaded up here with Swarm of the Century, and I swear I'm looking at the thumbnails. Twilight looking at Spike with something, and it's just like, damn, those eyes are huge.
Yeah, right. Some of the poses was really kind of weird too. I'm glad that we're past the whole. I'm glad that we're past the whole stuff with Gilda and Trixie, because like some of the stinted movements in those episodes were really bad.
But there's an interesting conversation to be had about season 1 characterizations, because when I think of season 1 characterizations, I think of pretty basic character points, where it's like Fluttershy is just maybe a little too doormatty. Twilight is like kind of douchily skeptical and doesn't trust her friends. Pinkie Pie is annoying and not aware about it, because and they played that up in season 1 to a joking point, because she was meant to be more of a little more of a parody than a deconstruction as she became later. And and when I think of season 1, I think of, this is actually one of the episodes I think of first, because like when I think of season 1, of course I think of like Dog and Pony Show and Party of One, but that's just because, spoiler alert, those are 2 of my favorite episodes. And I also think of Great Powerful Trixie and Gilda, because I'm like, man, those are 2 of the, in my IMO, weakest opinions. But then there's this one, Swarm of the Century, for me, and tell me how you feel about this. Swarm of the Century, for me, has always felt kind of right in the middle, because it's got the I wouldn't say complex, but it's got a more layered plot, like Friendship is Magic is.
Feels like it's more focused.
Yeah, it looks good. The Paris sprites are an interesting animation thing. But as far as like certain aesthetics and I keep saying this word a lot, characters, it's still kind of weird to go back and look and just be like, wow, it was a simpler time back 6 years ago.
Honestly, I should have brought my little Paris Blight plushie that I have brought down here.
I completely forgot you had that.
But I got it at the first Cider Fest. It was amazing. But let's get started with the plot. So, why don't you get started with this?
Oh, please. So, Fluttershy is walking around the MV Ports, strutting that plot, and she's getting
acting all like Snow White.
Because, this is before the show was, aware, and she's getting flowers for Sun Horse because Swan Song raised the song Ring a Ding Dong Celestia is coming over for, what was it, a banquet? Was it a charity? Or
I don't know. It was just the fact she's coming over.
Yeah, she's coming over.
That's one thing I have to say that season 1 kind of was lackluster about is like the little finer points of each episode kind of just got lost in the mist of the rest of the episode,
So she comes across one of those Paris sprites, and she's like, OMG, you are hashtag 2adorb5me. You're the cutest little thing ever. And hashtag people that like dogs more than people are weird. And she's like, here, you want an apple? Tiny, harmless thing. And then the tiny, harmless thing is like,
no, I want the whole damn bushel.
I'm trying to find something that I'm trying to find a consumable I can fit in my mouth in one bite. But
which, by the way, don't let Little John ever get to Paris Sprite. Because he'll start calling them Paris Skeets.
So Fluttershy is like, yo, hold up. This little ass thing just ate an apple, like a whole ass apple. Better show the bros. So she goes back to Ponyville.
I gotta go crack a cold one with the boys. You come with me.
Busting out the elements of harmony with the boys. Sorry, Celestia, but Saturdays for the boys. Dated memes are great.
Saturdays for the Brodies.
Petting a soft plushie with the bronies. So Twilight being Twilight, and it's seeing Twilight like this that kind of makes me think, it's almost good. In a reassuring way that some things never change. Because she's metaphorically pulling her hair out. She's like, OMG, WTFs. WTF, FTW barbecue. Frickin' Celestia is coming over, fam. What do we do? And Pinkie Pie. Pinkie Pie is her taste tester for all the food being made. Unfortunately, Pinkie Pie's idea of taste testing is eat the whole freaking thing, which, again, it's nice to see that some things never change in a reassuring way.
I'm just going to say, she ain't going to have a long lifespan. Eating all those sweets, I'm surprised she's not puking her guts out more than a couple times.
Well, she has
what is considered canonical or whatever.
She has to have the biggest appetite of them all, but she has the exact same body type as most other ponies. So that tells me two things. Either one, horse metabolism in Equestria is insane god tier, like it's some Barry Allen type of bullcrap, or maybe everyone in Equestria just gorgeous fat amounts of food.
Well, I'll say this. I was reminded back in the season 5 premiere when AJ's, but you got to eat all those muffins, Pinkie. Why me? You got a stronger stomach than any of us.
More apples. So
that would be Flutterback. Calm down now.
Oh no, I'm thinking of apples.mauve.
Oh my gosh.
Hey guys,
Yes.
Applejack's eating a shitload of apples.
Fuck you, I can't eat all those apples. Do you remember the first BronyCon that happened, where
Oh my
Ashley
god.
Ball was there, and they asked her to say that, and she's like, "Forget you, I can eat all these apples," and the
Everyone
whole
just goes
place
nuts. Yeah,
erupted.
yeah, I remember that exact panel because I streamed it on Everfree Radio when Everfree Radio was, God, it feels so weird talking about stuff from way back when because some of it's been gone for so long now that I feel old.
Yeah, and if you ever want to see us trash it on that site, check out Snake Skin's channel. I'll put a link
Yeah,
in the description.
yeah, because I was gonna say that's when Final Draft was like kind of an okay person and a decent host. I mean, yeah, he tried to like, calm down the bronies and like when any of them had a question, he tried to shut them down and stuff. That's one of the reasons I really like Nicole Sullivan. I think her name, or Nicole Sullivan, one of the Celestia voice actors. Because
Yeah, Nicole Oliver. By
yeah,
the way,
Nicole Oliver.
she's at Cider Fest.
She's really cool and like she's like very warm and open to the bronies like Tara Strong always has been, and that was always
Well,
cool to see.
it makes sense with Tara Strong. She's been doing these kind of voices for years now.
And trust me, being around as long as Tara Strong has have, the things she's voiced, people she's probably met, I guarantee you bronies are not the weirdest thing she's come across. Hashtag Lollipop Chainsaws 2 needs to come out now. So
Oh my gosh, that game was so weird, but in all the right ways.
so this is an interesting little bout of, I guess you could call it OO's out of character, but I mean, this is before they were super established persons, so I guess it wasn't too out of character. Then Fluttershy brings the Paris Bride by, and she's like, "OMG, it has my eyes and my flesh." And Twilight's like, "Yo, that thing's super cute. Oh my god, let's get some
You know what's
shows."
funny? I'm reminded. You remember that one YouTube poop? God burns down Equestria for insurance. For insurance,
That's one of the best ones.
and that scene where he brings it up, and their hair pulls apart, and it's a bunch of like honeybees, and they try and make it
Oh
look like they're
yeah.
all scary and stuff.
I still
Now,
love
those are mud daubers, dear Lord! I'd be screaming my head off.
Sweetie Bot made Punch for You.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit, America!
Yeah, Ollie
So,
Bacon.
God, I mean, it's weird going back and watching those because what was so relevant then, so dated. The show just makes me feel old, and I hate it. So, Pinkie Pie, interesting aversion to usual Pinkie Pie antics, I think. She's like, WTF, is that a Paris Sprite? That thing's hella gross, bro. And Fluttershy's like, stop talking about my poofs. I will post pictures of them on Instagram and pretend I am a stable person as I watch people spend thousands of dollars for those stupid dog shows, buying $800 for a tiny ass dress that was probably made on the backside of Taiwan. And they're like, OMG, this dog's the cutest. This dog does the sickest tricks. Dog shows are stupid. And
so is Toddlers and Tiaras.
oh god, that's cancer. Not even the fun, dank meme kind of cancer. I mean, Diamonds and Tiaras is basically AIDS. I just need to get that out there.
It's honestly Diamond Tiara's character all wrapped up into one show.
Yeah, but at least Diamond Tiara, like,
At least face turn. This one is just like, no, we're gonna go and keep being terrible because we know we're shit. We're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, at least with Diamond Tiara, you can blame the parents. Well, okay, you can in Tiaras. The point is, people are terrible, and we need to get rid of talent shows, and I've advocated since I was in like 5th grade for Fat People Olympics, but no one's ever wanted that.
Because we at the Undercover Brony advocate better TV shows.
We at the Undercover Brony do not condone body shaming. So this is interesting because Pinkie Pie immediately jets out and she's like, "Yo, Holmes, I gotta find a trombone," and they're like, "Okay, that's just Pinkie Pie being Pinkie Pie. whatevs. So Twilight goes to Rarity to see how the outfits are going on, because for some reason the show still thinks that horses wearing clothes is applicable.
Actually, no. She was going through the town and trying to figure everything out. She goes up to a sign. She goes up to this one part where it's like, water these flowers. Okay, you're doing a great job. And by the way, you could suck it, Friendship is Witchcraft, because I don't care what you say. That joke was tired the second time you played it. But she goes up to this. She goes up to the sign, and it's written in crayon. It's kind of cute. It's like, "Welcome, Princess Celeste," and it's just like, what happened to the rest of the name? We couldn't fit it all in. Of course, being a lewd joke, you know, for the adults in the audience. But what I find so funny.
Did they have no idea?
Is it funny how you see some specific characters in media and TV and you're overtly, like, in the back of your mind looking for people with those same names? Like, I know people that are named Celeste. I'm like, it's almost there.
I was literally just about to say I knew a Celeste. Well, a friend of a friend, one of my friends knew a girl named Celeste. She had the biggest eyes. So they go by Rarity's place, and Rainbow Dash is like modeling or something for it, and Fluttershy's Paris Bride shows up, but then there's three of them. What the? And Rainbow Dash and Rarity are like, it's no prob, Bob. We'll take.
Yeah,
they
reproduce asexually. Calm down.
Yeah. It's only the next step. It's only the next step of evolution, increasing by a couple billion years right in front of your eyes. No worries, fam. So nothing else goes down for the day. But the next day is when everything gets actually kind of funny, because
this whole time they keep one. Like, each of the main six keep one, and so I love though what Rarity's doing to Rainbow Dash in this episode, where she's just sitting there. You know, it's just like, I need to fly. I can't stay still any longer. But she has this gigantic, like Constitutional Congress sort of like gigantic wig on. She looks like she could be part of Andrew Jackson's cabinet.
That reminds me of a band I heard once. Well, kind of. Their name was Andrew Jackson Jihad, but you get the idea. So,
by the way, what is the one thing that goes through George W. Bush's mind during cabinet meetings?
Is this a 9/11 joke?
No.
What?
There isn't even a cabinet in here.
Oh, Jesus Christ, John. So, 10 years later, and Bush is still a good punchline. America, don't ever change, except when you probably should. So a whole day passes, and then they wake up, and then they're like, holy crap, there's like a million of these goddamn Paris Brides.
And I want to say, my favorite part of this whole thing, that my favorite little expression, is when Spike's sleeping, like, Twilight wakes up and she sees that there's Paris Brides everywhere. And you see Spike with two Paris Brides on his eyelids or whatever. And it's just like, Spike, wake up, they're multiplying. And he kind of opens his eyes. He's like, ah! And that expression is just so funny, seeing those little two sets of eyes on his face when he does that exclaimed expression. Is freaking hysterical.
There's so many little things throughout the episode that make this a stand above some of the other season 1 episodes, and little things like that are one of them. The scene keeps playing out, and there's a million Paris Brides. No one knows what to do. Everyone's getting everyone's they have permission to freak out at this point, and Pinkie Pie shows up with the trombone, which, by the way, I find it very hard to believe that it took Pinkie Pie an entire day to find a trombone. She should have had that in her freaking hair. But there is not as a legitimate criticism because I think this is before they really started utilizing that hammer space. But then she's like, crap, I'm going to need a lot more instruments. And memory's a little fuzzy because I watched this some time ago, but I came back from a 3-day Disney convention, so I'm a little tired, and because I was screaming my lungs out the new Kingdom Hearts trailer. So
dude, did you see the new Incredibles 2 stuff?
Yo, that looks great.
They haven't posted anything online yet.
They haven't posted anything online. But what I mean by is that it's just great that we're finally getting Incredibles 2. I mean,
gosh, it's my favorite of the original Pixar movies. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if we're talking about those first like 5, it was like Toy Story, Monsters, Nemo, Bugs Life, and Incredibles. That's probably I don't know. I gotta go mainstream and go with the first toys. Go with the first and second Toy Story. They're just so great.
Yeah, they are. I'm just saying that I really like The Incredibles.
Honey,
where's my super suit?
What?
It's like,
What?
it's like, what? Why are you asking for it? I need it. No, we've been planning this for 2 months now. You know, you could deal with this later. It's like, don't talk to me about that woman. We are talking about the greater good. Greater good. I am your wife. I am the greatest good you're
that you'll ever get. That whole scene is great. So this is at the point where the Paris Brides, and you know, with all these callbacks and people coming back from seasons past, I'm honestly surprised we haven't seen the Paris Brides again somehow. I mean, we've seen Gilda.
Yes, we did.
When did the Paris Brides show up again?
We saw a little snippet of them in Magic Duel.
That's right.
Yeah. So, you know, some of the other great jokes in this episode was when they're attaching themselves to Rainbow Dash, and at one point they actually create a little like bikini look to her, and I'm just like, wow.
I wish they all could be California. So. So some shenanigans happen. This Paris Brides are eating everything like it's a like it's a bulimic at an all-you-can-eat buffet. Although I would not envy that bathroom. Whoever has to clean it up, and they that joke's not too dark, is it? No, it's good. So they so eventually
it's just a shitty joke.
Yeah, I think those type of jokes are pretty easy to wear thin. So eventually this big old hubbub music comes on. It sounds like
you're missing a bunch. You're missing actually one of the best scenes when they Katamari Damacy their entire.
That's right.
And they're trying to just roll it out, and Pinky's just running backwards. It's like, I need to find some maracas, and it's like, Pinky, you are so random. Get out of here right now. And she's like, you guys are so stubborn. You won't listen to me. But then again, Pinky needs to learn communication skills because honestly, she is not making any sense at all.
It gets to the point to where they try going to Sakura, and Sakura's basically like, fuck, dude, I don't know.
It's like, if the Paris Sprites are already multiplied, you're doomed.
Yeah, and it's like, thanks, magical zebra horse, for nothing.
And then I find this scene a little bit interesting. They go back to the library, and there's this little Paris Sprite with a little napkin around its neck, and a fork and a knife. And Twilight's like, they're eating the words out of the books like spaghetti.
That's right.
It's so freaking cute. But yeah, then the whole thing with the full Pinky band, and what I love is the threat of Celestia is looming, and you see her start to come down. And it's like, okay, here's the plan. Rainbow Dash, you distract him. You see Rainbow Dash fly across the screen with a bunch of Paris Sprites next, following close behind. It's like, good. Everyone else, we need to make an exact copy of Ponyville right over there. We've got less than a minute, and it's a Blazing Saddles reference.
Yes, I too have seen that movie. So
They
they
basically create cardboard cutouts of the entire town.
cuts of the entire town. Yeah, I know. Like in Blazing Saddles, that movie that I too have seen and have observed with my eyes. Shut up. So, so after Zecora is no help, after they've eaten everything, Celestia is coming closer, like he said. This is when Pinkie Pie starts like. This is when Pinkie Pie drums up the band and starts, tuning the music, so to speak. And she's like a one man backing band for Weird Al, if that guy had Parkinson's, because she's playing like 17 different instruments at once. And Twilight's like, what the? And, but the Paris Sprites are following her, and she leads them out of town. And they're like, bro. And Pinkie Pie's like, that's why I say you should listen to me, bro. And then Twilight's like, I will never doubt animation's equivalent of the LA Beast ever again. So Celestia shows up, and she's like, bro, thanks for the parade. And by the way, Twilight, no disrespect, but you're looking a little flabby. You working out, bro? Anyway, I'd like to stay in chat, but some other town's got a bunch of bugs eating it alive. So I kind of got to go fix that.
And why don't we mention that little part before we end off where Fluttershy has a bunch more in her cottage?
Yeah, that's right.
And it's like, they're just so cute. It's like, no. But the show, as great as it is, makes the best of it, because you see AJ standing there just like, mad at her. And you see two Parasprites take off her hat and throw it to the side.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that gag.
It's the perfect reaction to Fluttershy basically taking everything and completely making it worse.
And Twilight talks to Celestia. She said, "Dear Princess Celestia, I learned sometimes Crazy Ivan speaks the truth, and you shouldn't shit talk your weird friends because they have just as many valid ideas as you, and maybe from their alternate point of view, you can learn something, even about yourself."
Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm such a stuck-up bitch.
No, I'm just kidding. You're still a loser, whoever's watching. So that's the episode, and admittedly better than I remember. Definitely a cut above the other episodes that we've seen. I give this one actually a 7.5 because, pretty good laughs, good animation, good gags. It's solid. It's very, very solid.
Yeah, I give this a 7.5 as well. This was, for Emmy Larson's first turnout, it wasn't that bad, and there was a little couple things, like the whole Fluttershy thing didn't make much sense, but there were so many good visual gags, and I'm going to say, I guarantee you they were doing a huge reference of Trouble with Tribbles. Do you remember that Star Trek episode?
Oh, yeah, vaguely, but yeah.
Yeah, it's all a bunch of little hamsters or whatever. But yes, this was a good episode. So,
have I ever told you my headcanon on how I thought the Paris Sprites ate Pinkie's like farm and they had to move, and that's why they're rock farmers? Because Pinkie Pie seemed to really hate these things, and she knew how to deal with it. So why isn't that a fan fiction topic? Oh wait, I know why that's not a fan fiction.
headcanon.
Wait, I know. I know why that's not a fan fiction topic, because everyone's got to either write the 800th sonata from Equestria Girls Get Redeemed fic, or shipping Rainbow Dash with Soren or a watermelon.
Or someone needs to update their fanfic of Griffin's cat house. Wink, wink.
Hey, man. I don't know who's writing it, but they're fucking working on it. So, yeah, that's Swarm of the Century. Yeah, not bad. What is next season 1's episode?
Oh, this is a good one. Winter wrap-up.
Oh, you could almost say it's the iconic season 1 episode.
with the first big musical number. Find out next time. Winter wrap up, winter wrap up.
Winter wrap up. Spend some holiday cheer. Winter wrap up, winter wrap up. Let's be honest, that's pretty much the only part of the song that anyone really remembers at this point.
And let's wrap up this recording. Yay.